We live in an unstable world. And in order to stabilize things and shift reality, we all need to work together to learn how to overcome the past and to build a better paradigm that can be more focused on more sustainable measures that works for we the people, and also considers the earth and allows us to unify rather than to remain divided, segregated, and separate from one another. If the past couple years of the 2020s and pandemic has taught us anything, it's taught us that our world is changing and we can't go back to the way things were. And although some people think that we may eventually get back to normal and what society once was, the truth is the timelines are changing and reality is shifting, and for the better, to help us all evolve and to create a more perfect and peaceful paradigm. So how can we find and create stability in a world of chaos and uncertainty? Well, it begins with each and every one of us, and the work is really to learn to integrate our values and our common belief systems, and to look at ourselves not as a separate piece, but as a unified whole. And we have to begin to consciously evolve and open our mind and free ourselves from limitations so that we can all collaborate and work together, especially through this time of change. It begins first with accepting where we're at, accepting our own soul's journey, who we are, what life has dealt us, and what we either need to overcome or have already overcome. And it begins with accepting responsibility to no longer look outside or think that a government or some system or group or person will save us or help us. It begins by taking full responsibility and conscious action to become the change that we ultimately wish to see. To come out of instability, it requires creating stability. And that means anchoring in to our root, understanding our root chakra, the base of who we are, the core of who we are, our roots, where we come from, and beginning to open our lens of who we are and ourself in a bigger perspective to not only integrate our shadow and different aspects of ourselves, but also to consciously connect with our true heart and soul. And with that becomes the responsibility of learning to ground down and be in the physical body. So if we look at the last couple years, what have we learned? Well, the body is important, and so is our health, wellness, and well-being. And beyond just the physical body and illness and disease, there is so much more and so many layers to our human reality and our physical self. And within our body, we can start to understand the connection to the mind, body, and spirit, and how everything inside of us is interconnected to create the physical aspects of ourselves. So with that, it's our responsibility to create stability by creating wellness and wholeness within. And it requires allowing ourselves to tap into our deeper emotional needs and wants and to begin to create emotional health in new ways. I'm a big fan of meditation and yoga and practicing different exercises to help you get still, get calm, relax your nervous system, and find a place of peace so that we can begin to integrate the daily stresses of our lives. And what's going on now is there's a collective awakening happening. So there's a shift. The old ways can no longer be. And with that comes our beliefs in how we view reality, people, our health and wellness, and to look beyond just science and to develop a more spiritual perspective of humanity and what's going on with our collective, within us and around us. To create the stability, we all need to learn to find our center, to get out of reaction and to stop causing drama and struggle and chaos, and to create peace first within ourselves. It is entirely possible to create stability inside of ourselves. The thing is that the majority of us are not trained on how, and we operate unconsciously, full of reactions. Our nervous systems are triggered, and the way we learn to survive rather than thrive has been ingrained within us all. And so the work is to find our center, to find our peace, to tame the mental mind and the mind games, to create a neutral mind, and then most importantly, to tap into our bodies and our emotions and our subconscious emotions that are ultimately usually driving our behaviors and our reactions. This includes the food we eat, our cravings, what we reach for, what we do in moments of stress, and so much more. Because what is inside of us is ultimately what is manifesting outside of us. So, to create a more stable reality, it begins with us. And we all get to do our part to break old patterns, create better habits, and to find a more centered and self-loving way of living and being. And it begins with the relationship we have inside of us, in our lives, and then outside of us with others. And from there, we can learn to take a more conscious approach to life to allow ourselves to line up into what can really bring us more peace and really create a better reality and help us all change for the better. And the stability is created by being in the body, letting go of the need to escape or eat or exercise or do something else, and just getting present with what's going on inside of ourselves. As the world is changing and we ourselves are evolving as a human species, our bodies and the way we communicate and connect with our internal self and our external reality is shifting as well. And our sensitivities and psychicness is getting elevated. And so the key is to become aware so that we can begin to look at ourselves and what's going on in a more holistic form, and also begin to understand the underlying layers of energy that are causing some kind of reaction either within us or around us. Disease can be looked at on so many different levels, and when we begin to understand the body and the non-physical aspects of health and well-being, we can also learn how to help the body before it turns into some kind of physical ailment or disease. So stability is first created by allowing ourselves to become present in our mind and our breath and our body, and to feel into what's going on. And my personal opinion is that I feel like emotional health has become less important in society, and our human desire and need to be busy, to climb the corporate ladder, to make money, to achieve, to have, to buy, to put ourselves on social media and brag about who we are in our life. All those external things have kind of inhibited us and kept us from tapping into the deeper, more soulful sense of self and our true spiritual nature. And we can continue and we can ignore and suppress and take a lot of meds and, find all these external things that may help us temporarily or bring us to a place of calm temporarily. But the true work is to look at the physical body and our health and well-being and to make natural changes so that we can feel better. And this usually requires confronting the trauma, the underlying fear and the emotions, and to look at our mentality and how we're thinking and believing and what stories we're telling ourselves about ourselves and the world. So we can all live in a very positive light and love tonality, but we can also be grounded and see things as they are. And quite frankly, to understand we're in kind of a shitty society right now, and our world's a little corrupt. And it wouldn't be truthful to say that everybody's perfect, because we're not. We're humans and we have polarity on this planet. But now is the time to learn how you can strengthen the relationship you have with you, and to tap into your deeper values and needs, and then to align with it. And from there, the physical reality and our own health and well-being can become restored as we begin to anchor in to our true self and ground into our physical body and make internal changes first to help our external changes. And think of it like this. In this unstable world, we all have opinions and perspectives, and the algorithms are doing who knows what in everybody's reality to convince you of who knows what. So truth is a little muddled right now, and we're not really sure what all is going on. But what we do know is that we have control of how we respond, how we react, and also our own interpretation of things. And once we take the responsibility to look at our life and who we are and what we're choosing, we then can become the catalyst to change and choose better. And you won't get out of instability unless we create a healthy foundation where we're able to take care of ourselves, stop blaming and pointing fingers, own our reactions and triggers and our choices in life, and most importantly, look at how we treat ourselves and one another. Because we have a choice on whether we stay stuck in the past and the past mindset and how we think things need to be, or if we can transform and look at the future in a brighter lens of reality and to see things in better ways. And in this new world, it is going to be through we the people that we're going to grow, we're going to go through things, and we're going to have to learn to work together. The drama, the wars, the anger, the battles, that may continue. But it's a choice on whether we're going to unify and to strengthen our soul light, to live in a more neutral and cooperative manner, to create the mental and emotional balance and well-being, and to find happiness inside of ourselves and then with others. And if we don't want to work through the conflict and the trauma and the drama, we choose a different way. But the world will get better with our change and with our ability to learn to neutralize and to work with one another to see a higher perspective of what's going on and what life is trying to teach us. And to know who you are and what your bigger lesson is in reality, and to take responsibility so that you can create the happy life of your dreams and your desires, and to use your own energy to stabilize, to create a good life in whatever form that is for you.